Hello. Now we're into day 3 of creation. So far we've got light and we've got an atmosphere. Now comes the real heavy-duty stuff. So let me continue reading in Genesis 1, 9-13. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And again, it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and morning were the third day. As we continue, God separated the land from the waters. And this is the first step in preparing the earth to be habitable for all land creatures, including mankind. God commands, and it happens. It was so. Remember, when I was talking about Jean-Luc Picard, when he said, "Make it so," and it happened. And so it is that God commands and it happens. God named the land earth and the waters seas. And this was seen as good, free from sin, and blessed. This is a small glimpse of the almighty power of God's spoken word, as you can only imagine the amount of geological shifting that must have been going on to allow the dry land to appear. But what is most incredible to me is that the water existed in liquid form even before the creation of the sun and moon. God is the sustainer of warmth and light even without the sun. Imagine that. What a mighty God. Hallelujah. And here, God creates all kinds of plant life upon the land. God mentions 3 types of plant life. Whoa, 3 again. See, all these 3s. Grass, that's the tender sprouts, herbs, and trees. And so earth brings forth herb yielding seed after its kind, and the tree producing fruit after its kind, whose seed was in itself. God set the rules of nature where plants create fruit and seed after its kind. Now, the reason God uses the word his kind in the Bible is because seed is the same word as sperma, which is always masculine. God created all of these things after its kind. This means a flower can't produce a cactus. The flower produces other flowers, etc. An orange can't produce an apple, and neither can a pineapple produce a grape. You see, everything was created after its kind. Like produces like. Animal plant can only produce after its own kind. The land is bringing forth fertility and beauty. This was truly created involving the theory of apparent age. Apparent age, it means functional maturity. It means that it was created fully mature. It's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, of course, the chicken came first to be able to produce the egg. You see, this is where evolution fights with creation. That means God created the vegetation ready to reproduce. Folks, grasp it. God created things after their kind. God repeated that rule. That kind can only produce the same kind. Take note, when God repeats something, the phrase after its kind, it goes over and over and over again. It occurs 8 times just in Genesis 1:1 alone. The repetition is here for a purpose, as God is making a point He wants us to see. Remember, the Bible is God's communication to us. It is written for us to be able to understand Him. Evolution attacks this rule that like can only reproduce like. This is also preparation for all the animals and mankind the Lord was planning to create. Again, the earth became beautiful with grasses, herbs, flowers, and fruit-bearing trees and all kinds of vegetation. God blessed all this and saw again that it was good. Folks, God Himself is the sustainer of life, even without the sun.